Hey YouTube! So great to be back at the original location of the Sunday video updates. How you guys doing? Jared Fuller here. Today is Sunday, April 22nd, 2018. So glad you could join me for another week of the Sunday video updates. Yes, we are back at the original location, as I said. It was okay doing the Sunday video updates from my bedroom, but I figured I would just come back to the original location where it felt more original. Pretty self-exclamatory, I would say. Yeah, so it's been kind of an interesting week. Yesterday was probably the best day of the whole week. Saturdays seem to be the pick days of the week. And I wanted to talk about that a bit, if I may. Yesterday, I got to see a Cancer Warrior sister named Lauren Stansberry. She lives down in Holly Township, Michigan. She's a Wellness warrior like I am, and I went to her house yesterday, and of course I'm representing Team Lauren, wearing the shirt. I got two shirts from her, actually, and I delivered a bird shirt to her personally, and we visited for about an hour. We shared lots of laughs, lots of jokes. We talked about the foods that we liked, the different colors that we liked, our favorite colors that we liked. We talked about just general things, and yeah, we talked about childhood cancer. We compared battle scars. We had pictures taken. I don't have any pictures to show just yet. I'm waiting for her mother because she took some pictures of me and Lauren together, and I'm just waiting to see how they turned out. But I do have one picture that I'd like to show you. Her little brother, he's only 4 years old. His name is Hunter. He had like a stuffed animal, I think it was a monkey. And when he noticed that I had my Jared Bear with me, because I had taken my Jared Bear with me, he was giving my Jared Bear for 10 kisses with his little, stuffed animal. I think it was a monkey. And Hunter was only 4, so it was cute to see that he would interact with my Jared Bear like that, and I wanted to bring up this picture, if I may. Those are the kisses that Jared Bear was bombarded with. I mean, isn't that just the cutest thing you ever saw? Just the cutest thing. I couldn't help but pass up that picture. And I didn't want to wait till the end of the video to show you guys, but I thought that was very cute. And it was just a wonderful day yesterday, and Lauren is having a bedroom makeover, and I got to see where her old room looks like before they're going to do the makeover. So, yay me. But I totally and completely love the Stansberry family. They are just wonderful people. They welcomed me into their home with open arms. We had planned this about a week ahead of schedule for me to come over and visit. And we visited for about an hour. And I got to meet Lauren's twin brother, Taylor. Really nice kid. So yeah, it was just a wonderful day yesterday. And if the Stansberry family is watching this, I love you all. Thank you so much for having me yesterday. And I am looking forward to future visits and perhaps maybe some outings that will benefit Lauren. But Lauren is just the sweetest girl, always laughing, always smiling, and really just warms your heart. It really just hits you right here. And I told her yesterday, I said, nobody dare mess with my warrior sister, and she just smiled and laughed, and we had a wonderful, wonderful time. And I'm looking forward to it. Today, and this is partially the reason that I'm doing the Sunday video update now. It's after 5 o'clock in the morning. Today, around 2 o'clock, I will be in Springport, down by Jackson, to go to a birthday party for one of my friend's kids. His name is Dakota. And I have to stop and get a bucket of Neapolitan ice cream to take to the party. I'm looking forward to seeing my friends. I'm pretty sure Caleb and Dusty will be there. I just can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a fun-filled weekend so far. And I had bird shirts mailed out this week to a few of my other Warrior brothers and sisters. They should have gotten them yesterday. If they didn't, they'll probably get them on Monday. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what's going on with the delivery or if they had made it to the mailbox yet. I don't know what's going on in their daily lives, but I do know that their Warriors have very special gifts coming to them. So, and they're aware of this as well. So yeah, I'm still doing the bird shirt thing. I'm always going to do it. I've had people just recently, because they see the interest, or they found interest in the bird shirt. They want to get bird shirts for the Warriors, so much to the point that they were actually willing to send money to me. And I want to make that a point right here now, that I don't want you to send money. I never demand money. I don't demand refunds. I don't demand reimbursement of any kind. The bird shirts are strictly out of pocket. No one's forced me to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it because, and I think really what it boils down to is, throughout this journey, watching children battle cancer, and the kids are just going through some of the most horrid things in their lives, you don't have very many reasons to smile. And the bird shirts for me is my way of providing that bit of happiness by saying, I've been there and done that, and I want you to have something from me, something that will perhaps maybe brighten your day a little bit, even if in the slightest. I want to offer you a gift, and it's got your name on it, and I want you to be happy, and I want to be a reason that they smile, and because it's a very difficult journey to have to go through. I can never stress that enough. If you've never watched your own child go through that, I mean, you hear about other kids going through that, but if you've actually never had to watch your own child battle something like this, then chances are you may never know what it's really and truly about. But it is, and I'll even go ahead to say, if you have never been through it yourself, you may never know what it is, what it's about. But that's pretty much my take on that. I just want to make a warrior smile. I want to bring happiness, and I want to brighten up a dark day, and a dark time in their lives. And that's my thing. But yes, they should be receiving their bird shirts. If they didn't get them on Saturday, they should receive them on Monday, because one went to Pennsylvania, one went to Florida, and the other one went to Texas. And of course, I had taken Lauren's bird shirt directly to her. So, oh yes, I'm still wearing the bracelets. I'll never stop wearing the bracelets. And as a reminder, check out GuideStar.org, where you will find out information about legitimate 501c3s and LLCs. That is GuideStar.org. So, be sure to check that out and educate yourself a little bit. So yeah, there's that going. I recorded some celebrity deaths this week, or was it last week? Let me check my journal here. I've been writing. I had recently written like 10 pages in my journal, and I got to tell you guys, it felt really good to get a lot of things off my chest. But I'm pretty sure this is book 127, by the way. So let me see here, because I've written like 10 pages worth of thoughts here. So these are some celebrity deaths that I recorded in my journal. Yesterday we had lost an actor named Why would that happen to me now? The actor, the guy who played Mini-Me in the Austin Powers films, he was from Michigan, by the way. He passed away yesterday at the age of 49. Troy something. I feel so stupid now. I feel so horrible. I can't remember the guy's name. Bruno Sammartino, the WWF Hall of Famer, Bruno Sammartino, he passed away at the age of 82. Barbara Bush died at the age of 92. Arlie Ermy had died at the age of 74, and Harry Anderson from Night Court had passed away at the age of 65. And you know what I can do right now? Right this very minute, while I'm doing the Sunday video update, I can actually check and see what the guy's name was, because it's going to drive me crazy throughout the duration of the video if I don't find out what his name was. They called him Mini-Me in the Austin Powers franchise. Mini-Me actor. Vern Troyer. He was 49. And he passed away yesterday. So, Vern Troyer, that's V-E-R-N-E, Troyer, T-R-O-Y-E-R, I thought his name was Troy. See, I knew I would get it wrong. Yeah, Vern Troyer, that was his name. Sorry, apologies to the family. I knew Troy was in there somewhere. But yeah, he was very young, only 49 years old. Damn good actor, too. But yeah, wow, there's really not a whole lot to talk about again this week. I don't know. I guess I can just talk about yesterday. So, something funny happened when I was there yesterday, and it really, really got Lauren laughing and uncontrollably. I mean, she laughed so hard she couldn't catch her breath. Her little brother, Hunter, the one that had given my Jer Bear all those little smooches, you know, and you know how typical 4-year-olds are when it comes to, you know, like when you're trying to do all the potty training and all that stuff. Well, typical 4-year-old behavior. He had his pants down before he even got to the bathroom, and his butt was sticking out. And I said, now, when you're a 4-year-old, that may be cute, but when you're an adult, you go to jail for that, you know. And Lauren just laughed so hard. I mean, it was just an uncontrollable, nonstop, prolific laugh. And I'd never seen somebody laugh so hard. But she was kicked back in a chair, and she was laughing so hard, just so hard at that. And her mom's just sitting there like, what's so funny, you know? The comment that Jared Bear said, and they were calling me Jer Bear, by the way. He says, the comment that Jer Bear said, it's like, oh, okay. I mean, you know, I was just telling the truth. I mean, it's cute when you're a toddler, but when you're an adult, you go to jail for that. But, well, you know, it is what it is. But it was just a wonderful time yesterday. I'm looking forward to going back, and I'm so looking forward to today's birthday party for little Dakota. Dakota is not a cancer warrior, but he is a friend of Dusty and little Caleb, and they're friends of mine. And Dakota's mom had invited me to the party. She sent me a text message and said, "Could you make it to Dakota's party?" Well, of course I can. I've got nothing else planned today. So I'm driving down to Springport, but I have to come through Eaton Rapids, and I have to stop at a grocery store called Family Fare and pick up a bucket of Neapolitan ice cream for the party. So that's going to be fun. And then from there I have to go to Springport, which is in Jackson County. I've not been to Amanda's house before. That's Dakota's mom. Her name's Amanda. I haven't been to her house before, but should be interesting. I've met her significant other. Nice guy, really good people. So I'm going to be in good company today as well, and I'm looking forward to it. And who knows, I might even post a video to my YouTube channel if Dakota blows out his birthday cake or sings happy birthday or what have you. I'm sure we'll be having that going on there. But yeah, there's really not a whole lot else to talk about this week. Well, this week it's supposed to warm up to around 70. It's going to warm up nicely after being hit with an ice storm. I think it was like a week or two ago, and it dissipated quickly. It didn't stick around very long. I'm ready for spring. Although I'm allergic to the sun, I'm still ready for spring. I like cold weather. Don't get me wrong, I love the cold because I can add layers of clothing. I can dress to a certain degree of warmth, and I have that certain comfort at a certain body temperature. However, in the summertime, when it's really unbearably hot and humid and muggy, you can only take off so many articles of clothing before you eventually just become naked. You know, and if you're going to be naked, you might as well stay in the privacy of your own home, in your bedroom or wherever you choose to hide out, and just kind of lounge in the nude. It's one of the things I just don't like summer. And other than the fact that I'm allergic to the sun, and it really wreaks havoc on my photosensitivity issues that I have. I am not a fan of the heat or the humidity, and I live in a state where in the summertime, humidity and muggy and hot and sticky, I live in a state where all of those factors apply to our summers, and I just don't like any of it. It's unbearable. It's hard to breathe sometimes. But even in the winter, when we have brutally cold winters, it's hard to breathe, especially if you're on oxygen and if you have issues with lungs. It can be difficult to breathe. So now 50 is comfortable. 49, 50, it's comfortable. But when you get, some people prefer 60s, 70s. 60s is okay, but when you get like 80s and 90s, it's a no-show for me. I can't do 80s and 90s. It's just too hot. In Michigan, we get the very brutal summers where it gets very extremely hot. And it makes it hard, too, because we don't have central air. We have an air conditioner, but it only works so long, and then you have issues of electric bills going up, and we try to avoid that as much as possible, having high energy costs. But, you got to stay cool, and you got to do what you got to do. But that's where the electric companies, that's where they get you, because they know that you got to have it, and they got you over a barrel. Well, we're going to charge an outrageous rate because we need that money. It's always about the money these days. It's never about anything else. We have meandered into this culture where money's everything, and there's no two ways about it. But that's a rabbit hole that I really don't want to waste a whole lot of time talking about. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Where's my talking skills today? I'm just not with it this morning. It's only see what time it is. Oh, it's 25 to 6. Last week's video was just quick. It was I figured I would try it with the cell phone instead of using my webcam. And I know I had misspoken last week when I had referred to my phone as a webcam. And although it does have webcam capabilities on it, I was actually using my cell phone because this webcam that I'm using now is choppy. There's a delay. So right when I move my cup, there's like a bit of a delay in between real time. And the image, when I move an object, the images are choppy. So it's not in real time as if I were to use my cell phone to record the video. But I have an SD card on my phone too, so that makes it nice where I can record long durations of video. And I may even try that next week at this same location, but I'll have to figure out a way to set my phone up where it'll have, like it'll be directly on me, on my face like my webcam is now. I'll have to work around with that a little bit. I'll have to tinker with the settings on it and mess with the zoom options and stuff like that. But I figured I'd try it anyway, see what's happening with that. There's really not much to talk about. I don't know what else to... the Family Expo, that was 2 weeks ago. That was fun too, by the way. I really don't know what else to say. I've run out of things to talk about. Imagine that. I don't know. I've run out of things to say. It's been kind of, good with the bad. I mean, there's good things that happen, there's bad things that happen. That's life. It's everyday reality. So, I mean, that's really what is there. I mean, there's nothing else besides good and bad, so I'll just talk about the good as often as I can. So yesterday was good, and I have no doubt in my mind that today will also be good. There won't be any bad going on. I hope not, anyway. At the birthday party for Dakota, and I know he's going to be happy to see me. I know Caleb, if Caleb's there, he's going to be happy to see me as well. Yeah, I love my friends dearly, and I just hope they never forget that. I really and truly love my friends. I love them like family, and I have lots of friends from all over. I have friends from everywhere, and of course I'm still getting requests for bird shirts. So these are 3 other orders that I'll have to put in when I get the money. Probably not until next month when I get my check. This one's going to Muskegon, Michigan. This one's going to Rifle, Colorado, and this one will be going to Mesa, Arizona. And I even had a request from someone who lives in South Africa for a bird shirt for their warriors. So it's like, wow. So my bird shirts are becoming popular among the warriors, which makes me feel great. I'm not profiting any kind of, I'm not making money off of this. And everybody says, well, Jared, you're a fool for not making money. You should be selling these. No, it's not about money. And again, it brings me back to that point. It's always about the money with people. Well, for me, it's not about money. For me, it's about just to brighten the day of a warrior. I don't care about the money because you can't take money with you when you die. So, while you're living, to an extent, you should want to make other people happy. You want to put a smile on a kid's face, even if they are survivors if they're done with treatment, or if they go back for scans every so often. So what? You know, the bird shirts to me are, it's just my way of saying, you're my brother, you're my sister, and we are in this together. I'm not going to let you go through this alone, ever. And I don't. And that's one of the things that I've always implemented. See, even when I started advocacy in 2013, and I guess I can talk about this for a little bit. When I started advocacy in 2013, I came into this with the mindset that I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm not looking to get kudos from this. While most other people may be in it just for the kudos, they're in it just to make themselves look good, and they're using children to satisfy a bruised ego or to line their pockets. I don't know of any other way to say this other than, you know, I'm not in it for the attention, because at the end of the day, I am a survivor. I was someone who had battled at such a young age, and love me or hate me, that never changes. And that's a part of my life that I had chosen to, you know, it was a bad, and I had chosen to make it into a positive. You take your bad experiences in life and you use them for the better good. And you show other people who are going through similar experiences by saying, I've been there and done that, and I'm here for you. You're not going through this alone. I want to put a smile on your face. I want to put a smile on the face of your warrior. And that's all it is for me. I don't care about money. I don't care about, you know, getting the pat on the back or whatever. I don't care about any of that. There are some people, well, many people in this community, that they do it specifically for those reasons. They love to be worshipped and put on pedestals, and they love to be adored, and they love having their ego stroked. I survived it, and that's all the that's all I need right there. That's it. I survived it. I don't need all the other extra added. I mean, I get the congratulatory, you know, like congratulations on surviving for, you know, 29 years. And I even get the, you know, like sometimes I get video messages from the Warriors, which I think is really cute. I get them on my cell phone. And it's like, you know, you guys are just so amazing. I love you all so much. And I do. And I don't expect such a wonderful response. But I get all kinds of responses from Warriors. I even do Skype sessions with some Warriors, and some of them even call me on the phone. And I just think it's wonderful. It's just a wonderful experience. But again, I don't do it for the experience. I do it because I give a damn. I do it because I know what that's like. And when I was battling, we were very secluded. See, back then we didn't have Facebook and Twitter and all the stuff we have now, Snapchat and Instagram. We didn't have that back in 1989. So you can imagine how lonely it was for us. And, you know, it was a very secluded time. We were isolated and maybe at best abandoned from a bigger, you know, when you look at it from a much more broader perspective, we were kind of having abandonment issues and isolation issues, and we just kind of felt alone. We were very secluded, and we kept to ourselves, and for a lot of these kids, especially those with DIPG, they are given a death sentence, and I don't want to be so blunt, and I don't talk about that too much, even in public. When I meet the families, I don't talk about all that, because it's in the back of their mind. I'm sure they think about that every day. There's not a day go by where they don't think, well, gee, what if today's the day? And I don't want to remind them of that. which is why I never bring it up. And I try to avoid talking about that in my Sunday video updates. I'll share if a warrior passed away, I'll share it. And it seems like every week, there is no seems. I get the text messages and the emails, such and such warrior passed away today, and my heart breaks more and more and more and more and more. And I got into this kind of a conversation with someone that I know very well, very dear to my heart, and her child has DIPG, and we got into this discussion about government, how they prioritize money over people, and I couldn't agree more. We live in a democracy where children come first, but somehow they are getting shafted. They are getting the most injustices done onto them, and the only way that things are ever really going to change is until their children, the people in Washington, the people in Lansing, and our Capitol buildings and our state office buildings, the only way they're ever going to become real compassionate about saving children is until it happens to their child. See, they're on the outside looking in, so they don't understand the different lifestyle. Even as a long-term survivor, I deal with lots of different things. The chemotherapy and the radiation had made me allergic to the sun. And this was one of the things I was talking about with Lauren yesterday. There's a chemo drug called the Red Devil, and the clinical term is adriamycin doxorubicin. They call it the Red Devil because of its distinctive red color. And I think that's one of the chemo drugs that she takes, and I wasn't sure if they were aware of the irreparable heart damage that Red Devil can cause, and they were aware of that, and that's why they do the echocardiograms, which is why I had EKGs, lots of them. When I was going to East Lansing for my scans, I had all those kinds of tests done, the scans and the labs and everything. And I think a lot of it had to do with why they would do chest x-rays. It's because of the Red Devil, and because with Wilms tumor, there's always that possibility that Wilms tumor can relapse in the lungs and in the chest area. So that's also a reality that I have to live with, although I've been pretty much, they call it cured. I've been cured for the past 29 years, but the thing is I'm not out of the woods, not by far. But, if push comes to shove, I'll just play it by ear. But, I've been doing okay, as far as I can tell. I feel good. I feel all right. And yesterday I felt great. It was just, it never ceases to amaze me either, because Lauren had showed me the battle scar, the scar going across her stomach, and I showed her my scar. So it's like, warriors, we're comparing battle scars. This is great. This is wonderful. The circumstances aren't the best, but, and they never are. The circumstances never are the best. It's the common denominator among all of us who are now very good friends, and we're like family. Cancer being the common denominator, but the one thing that is very certain is that there is love. There's friendship. There's companionship. And when I had the opportunity to visit with Lauren yesterday, that was like one of the best days of my life, getting to meet a fellow Wilms warrior. And, I'm still going to make it to New York and Colorado and Texas and Oklahoma, all these different places I've been invited to, Pennsylvania. I'm still going to make it. I'm not going to be able to afford every trip, within this year. I'm going to have to save up some money or perhaps maybe even take out a loan from my financial institution. But, make no mistake, either by hook or crook, I'm going to get to those people, the people that want me around, they want me in their lives, and I'm going to fight as much as I can to make sure that I get to them and spend time with them. And they're welcoming me into their homes. And I always tell them I don't want to push my welcome, so we'll have to arrange a certain length of time when I can stay, how long I can stay, and because I certainly, that's one of the biggest, to me it's important, that when I go and visit warriors, or if the families allow me to stay in their home, I don't want to push my welcome. I don't want to stay longer than I'm allowed, and I don't want to be in the way, and so there's all that going on. But I'm very humbled and I'm very flattered that there are people out there who want me to come and see them. They want to meet me. They know me as Jer Bear. Everybody knows me as Jer Bear, which I think is awesome. Lots of people in the childhood cancer community know me as Jer Bear. And I love the fact that I have such a huge following of people. I love it because that's one more person that I can reach out to and say, I understand 100% what childhood cancer is. And there's no turning back. I mean, once you know, you just know. There's never a time after the fact that you can't know. And it's like, who else can tell you things about childhood cancer as well as someone who has already been through it? You're not gonna hear stories unless, like, say for example, you're friends with someone who is an auto mechanic or picks up your garbage. If their kids are going through that, then they can tell you. But I'm saying in terms of, like the people who are indirectly affected, and I have lots of friends who are indirectly affected, and they are wonderful and amazing advocates, by the way, and I would endorse them any day of the week. But and there is kind of there's a line to be drawn, and it's not a bad line. It's just a line between the directly affected and the indirectly affected. And one of the messages that I try to convey as often as possible to the indirectly affected is you learn a lot. Like a lot of people use Google to get their information and to do their research. So either way, even if you go through Google or if you go directly to the source, you're going to members of the pediatric cancer community. Either way, you're going to get the same kinds of similar responses. Every case is different. Every situation is different. And so therefore, you're going to get different answers. You're going to get different, like, what are the side effects from this chemo as opposed to that chemo? And it varies upon different warriors. I only had 3 chemos as far as I'm aware, or at least those are the chemos that Dr. Scott, my oncologist, had given me, because he still has my original yellow folder from 1989 and all the consent forms that Mom and Dad had to sign for the blood transfusion and the chemo and the radiation and the whole 9. It's a very dynamic journey. It's a very dynamic battle. There are lots of things that you don't see, and one of the good points that I had brought up to the Stansberry family yesterday is, and we love St. Jude. I love St. Jude. I would endorse them any day of the week as well. But the one thing because in a commercial you've only got so much time to get your point across. But I can assure you, and I'm sure anyone who works at St. Jude, and this isn't a badgering of St. Jude or a bashing of St. Jude in any way, but I'm sure that an employee of St. Jude, perhaps maybe by chance they watch my Sunday video updates on a weekly, and They may or may not disagree. They may or may not agree. It's up to them. But there is so much more than just what you see in one commercial. You can never possibly fit an entire, complete story in a commercial, not even in a half-hour long episode of whatever, the case may be, or even an hour. There's just so many different things happening at once. And the journey, and I say that because the journey is not just 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 days, 6 days a week. It's not just weeks, months. It can be years. And there are so many different pivotal points that will happen between the beginning stages and whether you're not, the end, depending on if the warrior lives or if they remove the port when chemo treatment ends and you're declared NED or cured or what have you. There's always an end to every beginning. And it's the in-between that we have to focus on. So that way we can determine how the end will result. And that is one of the key reasons that I advocate now. Because for the longest time, I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to relive those memories from my childhood for the longest time. And I remember actually crying because it's like, because I asked my dad, I said, am I ever going to live a normal life? And my dad says, you live a spectacular life. You had been through something that was so serious and so life-threatening, and you persevered. And that was probably one of the best statements that any father could give to their son, especially one who had survived and lived through childhood cancer. And I don't gloat about surviving. But anyway, getting off track, there was a point where I just didn't want to talk about childhood cancer or any cancer at all. And I regret not doing the case study. But nonetheless, I mean, my battle, my case, my story, it does account. I mean, either way, it does account for especially in the Wilms tumor category, but childhood cancer in general. I mean, I still see statistics from as far back as like 1978 and onward when they do the statistics. But that's usually, and of course the studies are conducted by colleges, universities, the people who are continuously around the clock researching information. And if we can stand on the shoulders of previous generations when it comes to chemotherapy treatments and radiation treatments, and they're trying to find new and improved ways that will be helpful and beneficial to this generation of fighters. And I mean, I have to lend credence to those who continuously work around the clock, and they're saving lives. But there was that time in my life when I wanted nothing to do with it. And until I was about, I think it was about 26, when I found out the ugly truth about the underfunding of pediatric cancer by the federal government. And then I reached a level of maturity in my own mind where, you know what, I got to do something positive with my life. And I was looking for change. And so I kind of looked within myself. And, oh yeah, childhood cancer. It's painful to talk about. It's a life that I don't want to have to relive again. But then I realized that it's really bad. The underfunding of the research, and it's like, I have to do this. I lived childhood cancer. I breathed it. I survived it. Why am I not voicing? Why am I not standing up and standing united with my brothers and sisters? And now I am. And for the past 5 years, I've devoted so much of my time reaching out to people. And of course, I have people now who just, for whatever the reason may be, they're against me now, but that's something that they have to live with. Whatever's going on in their own head, I can't account for that. And, sooner or later, they will have to come to their senses and discover that, well, anybody can say anything about anyone, and it doesn't make it true until you have the sufficient proof and the evidence required, especially if you're going to make claims about people and it involves a person's reputation. I mean, that's a person's life you're messing with, and you don't see anything wrong with spewing a bunch of gossip. But that's Facebook. It's the nature of Facebook. It's the people who don't like drama, but they are so quick to gobble up all the gossip they can get. Well, I don't want no part of that, and I don't want any part of that. Well, but you seem to enjoy it. You don't like drama, but you love gossip. Well, it's kind of, the gossip kind of begets the drama. It kind of goes hand in hand. So I don't understand how you can separate the two. And anyway, why would you believe gossip without proof? Just like someone it came to me recently and said, well, you said some inappropriate things. And every time someone comes to me with any, claim that I'm saying or doing something wrong, or I have said or done something wrong, I always demand evidence. Because evidence at the end of the day is going to be the icebreaker. If you're not willing to be honest with me, if you're going to make a claim and you have no way of demonstrating the truth of your claim, I'm not interested in listening to you. And that's the end of it. That's the gist of it. And then they resorted to this, well, you don't have your old Facebook account anymore, so I can't prove it. Well, even if I did have my old Facebook account, there's still nothing to prove. I don't understand it. But trying to explain logic and critical thinking to people of this day and age is damn near impossible. Because now we have social media. We have false information being spread and perpetuated by people who they divert investigation. They avoid doing the work because that's all Facebook is. It's a bunch of gum flapping and people who preach mathematics, but yet they can't provide numbers. They don't give you anything to work with, but they just spew their craziness and gossip all day long. It's just, and something else too is that behaving the way you do behind a profile makes very awkward situations when you meet someone in public. And they say, well, if I block you on Facebook or social media, then I don't want nothing to do with you in real life. So, gee, thank you for not passing judgment. Could you be any more judgmental? So you're basing a person's life on their Facebook profile? You do realize that there have been generations long before Facebook come along. Hello. You learn about people by actually meeting people and not going by what their Facebook profile is. That's Facebook. That's virtual reality. It's not reality at all. Reality is when you're out there in the real world. I don't understand this generation. I don't understand how people can just lazily accept things without investigating and searching for truth. Because truth is something that people like to preach, but they can never abide by their own rules. They like to take an authoritative stance, but then when push comes to shove, they kind of, they back down and they don't stick to their guns. But yeah, let's just go around and make shit up about people willy-nilly. That's Facebook. Well, I'm sorry, but that's incorrect, and basing a person's lifestyle and adding your own twisted context to words that they say or use is just really dishonest. And there's probably a good reason that not too many people want to be around you in the first place, because nobody likes a dishonest person. It's just, I couldn't make anything up about someone who is fraudulently using the childhood cancer community for their own benefit. I could never make up something like that. And there's people who want to make the claim that, well, that's just your personal opinion and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm sorry, but it's not. It's not a personal opinion, and we're not agreeing to disagree on anything at all. The evidence has been shown. Court documents don't lie. There should be no reason on earth why I would make something up. And there's no reason why a lot of other parents and people who are confronted with the frauds in the world, there's no reason that they would lie either. I am not a fan of frauds. I don't condone or endorse fraudulent people. That's why I always say it is important to do your homework before you put your trust into anybody. But don't make past judgments based on, oh, he sounds like a creep or he looks like a creep. That's not how we make proper assessments about people. Get to know who they are as people first. Find out what's really going on. And that's why I have all my videos being downvoted, because they are internet trolls who like to judge, and they have nothing better to do with their day. They're just waiting for me to post an update so they can downvote it. That's great. Thanks for the view, and thanks for making me a part of your lousy day. I love the fact that you downvoting my video somehow makes you feel better. Loser. But anyway, yeah, I got into a bit of a rant and a ramble there. Well, I've been here for a little over 50 minutes. I guess it's time to go. I'll see what time it is. It is 10 after 6. So I'm going to go wash up. I know I got to go to Family Fair yet. I have to go to the grocery store in Eaton Rapids, Michigan, and of course, where else? There's only one Eaton Rapids on the map, and it's in Michigan. I'm pretty sure. So I have to go to Family Fair in Eaton Rapids, get a bucket of Neapolitan ice cream for Dakota's party today, which should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I guess that's it. That's my Sunday birthday party. So I'm going to be going through Lansing, of course, because I know of no other way to get to Eaton Rapids without going through Lansing or taking back roads. But I just prefer to go right into Lansing and take M99 and head south. And Dad and Amy are still in bed sleeping, and I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring, but, yeah, that's Barkley. So, I guess that about wraps up this week's edition of the Sunday Video Update. I'm going to get around and get a start on this day. I've been up since about 20 after 4. 4:20. Yeah, people make such a big deal about the 4:20 thing. It's just kind of gets annoying after a while. But anyway, so that's about it, gals and gents. Much love to all of you. Thank you for watching again this week. And have a wonderful, wonderful week this week. And you're in my heart. And Lauren, and to the rest of the Stansberry family, I love you all so much. Thank you again for inviting me into your home. And I cannot wait to see you again. You are an amazing family, and I love you guys so much. That's it, guys. Take care.